Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings to all of us. I respect Mr. Adam Zakaria MAK PhD and Mr. Unggul Purwohadi MSc PhD as my lecturer advisor. In this session, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nabila from Accounting Study Program, Faculty of Economics, State University of Jakarta. I will present my research entitled The Effect of Profitability, Audit Committee, Auditor Switching, and Company Size on Integrity of Financial Statement. Chapter 1 Introduction. Background: the large number of cases that have occurred in companies go public in terms of manipulation or fraud of financial reports raised up about the integrity of the company financial statement, especially for users who use information from the financial statement themselves. One of the cases occurred in the food and beverage subsector, namely PT Tiga Pilar Sejahtera Food Tbk AISA or TPS Food in 2017. The manipulation of financial reports by AISA has resulted in huge losses, including providing incorrect data to investors, reducing public confidence in the company, and damaging the company's image in the eyes of public. The integrity of financial reports that are not good can have a negative impact in the company internal parties, such as mistake in making decisions relate to the company's strategy in the future. In addition, external parties will also experience difficulties in making decisions related to investment or granting credit. In this case, the key lies in the company's financial statement, which are a reflection of the management that hold primary responsibility for the fairness of the presentation and disclosure of information. Integrity of financial reports is ensuring that the financial reports are honest, present according to fact, and can be trusted by stakeholders that the financial reports are in good condition. The integrity of financial reports can be affected by several factors based on published journals that have been reviewed by the auditor, which consists of several variables. Financial factor, we have leverage, profitability, financial distress, profit management. In corporate governance factors, we have a audit committee, managerial ownership, institutional ownership, and independent commissioner. External factor, we have audit quality, tenor audits, auditor switching, and the last is company characteristic factor is have company size. Next, for the fourth factor, we have one for each other is financial factor. We have profitability. In corporate governance factors, we have audit committee. In external factor, we have auditor switching, and the last is company characteristic factor. We have company size. There are still inconsistent research result in the effect of profitability, audit committee, auditor switching, and company size on the integrity of financial statement. In this case, the research was again carried out with a different time frame and research sample. This is the basis for the writer's interest in taking this research with the title The Effect of Profitability, Audit Committee, Auditor Switching, Company Size on the Integrity of Financial Statement. Next, we have a research focus. First, many cases of manipulation of financial statement in the go public company. Second is information contained in financial reports must have good integrity because it can affect users of financial reports, both internal and external, to the company, which cause difficulties in decision making. And last is previous research still has inconsistent result on the factor that affect the integrity of financial statement. Next is we have research question. First, is there any effect between profitability and the integrity of financial statement? Two, is there any effect between the audit committee and the integrity of financial statements? Three, is there any effect between the change of auditor with the integrity of the financial statement? And four, is there any effect between company size in the integrity of financial statement? Next, we have objective. First, to determine the effect between profitability with integrity of financial statement. Two, to determine the effect between the audit committee and the integrity of financial statement. Three is to determine the effect between the auditor switching with integrity of financial statement. And four is determine the effect between company size and integrity of financial statement. Last, in chapter 1, we have benefit. Firstly, is benefit theoretical, aiding and expanding the author knowledge about the integrity of financial statement, especially regarding matters that can affect the integrity of financial statement. They provide empirical evidence on the result of previous research on the effect of profitability, audit committee, auditor switching, and company size on the integrity of financial statement. C can be used as reference material and additional information for further research on the effect of profitability, audit committee, auditor switching, and company size on the integrity of financial statement. Benefit in practical. A, we have for the company, this research can be useful as an addition to suggestion and criticism for the company go public can pay more attention to the management of the company, which can be seen from the integrity of the financial reports. For society, this research can be useful as additional understanding and information for the public or users of financial statement regarding the integrity of company financial statement, where the public or users of financial statement can access and make decisions from the company's financial report with proper integrity. Next, Chapter 2, Literature Review. Supporting theory agency, a contractual relationship between the principal owner and the management agent, in which the principal contract with the agent to provide service by empowering the agent to make decision. Two is integrity of financial statement, refers to true, honest, and accurate information and does not contain intentional manipulation of accounting number by management to mislead users of financial statement in assessing the company. Third, we have profitability, comparison between the company's net income with the equity profit to generate profits. And four, we have audit committee. The audit committee is a committee performed and responsible to the board of commissioner to assist them in monitoring and ensuring the effectiveness of the internal control system and the implementation of the duties of the internal auditors and external auditors. Next, we have auditor switching. Minister of Finance regulations set a maximum time limit of 6 consecutive financial years for audit firm and 3 consecutive financial years for a public accountant. And last, we have company size. Large companies are assumed to have a large number of assets and revenues in generating significant profit that are expected to meet the increasing needs of stakeholders to present financial report with high integrity. And then we have theory framework and hypothesis development. First, hypothesis 1, we have profitability has an effect on the integrity of financial statement. 2, the audit committee affect the integrity of financial statement. 3, auditor switching affect the integrity of financial statement. And 4, we have company size has an effect on the integrity of financial statement. Next, we're going to chapter 3, research method. Unit of analysis, population, and sample. The unit of analysis in the study involved companies' operation in the food and beverage subsector using quantitative research method. The data used is secondary data in the form of annual financial reports of company in the food and beverage subsector for the period 2020 until 2022, which were released on the Indonesian Stock Exchange or ADX in December 2022. The source of research data is obtained from the company annual financial report that have been audited, and all research samples are assessed through the following index website. and especially for stock market price can be accessed at www.edx.co. The population of this study in the food and beverage subsector companies list on the EDX for the 2020 until 2022 period. The sample selection used a purposive sampling method, namely determining the sample with considering of the criteria prepared by the researcher as follows. First, food and beverage subsector companies indexed on the IDX. Second, companies that don't publish complete financial statement for the 2020 until 2022. 3. Companies whose complete financial statement don't present in rupiah during 2020 until 2022. The number of sample used as research object, we have 32, and times 3 years, we have 96 sample. Data collection technique. The data collection from the annual financial report of food and beverage subsector companies lists on the EDX for the 2020 until 2022. This data will be adjusted for variable related to the integrity of financial statement. That is documentation method, and the last is literature study method, used to find relevant theories with literature search, which include research journal, book, and previous research thesis. We have variable operationalization. We have dependent variable is integrity of financial statement, independent variable profitability, and then audit committee, auditor switching, and company size. Next, we have analysis technique. Firstly is descriptive statistical analysis. We have descriptive statistic, and then second is classic assumption test. We have test normality, test multicollinearity, test heterokedasticity, and testing autocorrelation. And then we go to statistic test. We have test the coefficient of determination, R square, and multiple regression analysis. And last is hypothesis testing. We have text partial test or t-test, and f-test or simultaneous effect test. Next, we have go to chapter 4, is result. Data description. We have 32 companies in the food and beverage subsector list on the Indonesia Stock Exchange. 2020 until 2022, we have 96 samples data access in website and data processing using SPSS 29 program. This is descriptive statistic, integrity of financial statement, minimum value 0 owned by PT Inti Agri Research Tbk and PT Magna Investama Mandiri Tbk in 2020 and 2022, where both of these companies don't have outstanding share. Maximum value is 13.71 owned by PT Era Mandiri Cemerlang Tbk, which means that the market price of each share is greater than the book value of the company. Standard deviation is 1.91, is more than mean is 0.77. Data integrity financial reports have quite varied data. And then we have profitability. Minimum mean 0.22 by PT Sentra Food Indonesia Tbk on year 2022 signify that there is a loss to the company, so the profit clean after tax more low from total asset company. Maximum 8.30 by PT Magna Invest Independent Tbk on year 2020 indicate the profit clean after tax more tall than more bigger than total asset company. And standard deviation more than man. It's mean deployment profitability which there is in company no equal. And then we have audit committee in maximum minimum 0 and maximum 3. We have auditor switching in minimum 0 and maximum 3 because variable dummy. The last is company size. We have minimum to 22.64 and maximum 32.83. And standard deviation is less than man. Company size has an even data distribution or low data variation. And then we go to classic assumption test. It's normality test. Based on the normality test using the Kolmogorov-Smirnov, it was concluded that the data with 96 samples were normally distributed because of the assumed result to tell is 0.05, which is the same as the significance value. And then we have multicollinearity is not multicol. And then we have heteroskedasticitas. And we have autocorrelation test. This free of autocall. And then we have statistic test, determination coefficient test based on the model summary table. The adjusted R-square value of 0.12 and 1 indicates that only 12.1% of the variation in the financial statement integrity variable can be explained by the variable of profitability, audit committee, auditor switching, and company size used in this study. Meanwhile, the remaining 87.9% of the variation is explained by other variable factors that were not included in this study. And then we have statistic tests, multiple linear regression tests. We have constanta. The constant coefficient value is 1.962. This constant value indicates that if the independent variable is 0, then the dependent variable is 10962. Profitability, we have 2.10h and then. And then we have in hypothesis testing, partial test or t-test. Firstly, the significance value of profitability is 0.017. Is less than significant, it can be concluded that there is an effect between profitability and integrity of financial statement. And the significant value of committee audit is greater than significant, so it can be concluded that the audit committee has no effect on the integrity of financial statement. The significance value of auditor switching is greater than significant. It can be concluded that the change of auditor has no effect on the integrity of financial statement. And last, the significant value of company size is affect the integrity of financial statement because the significant is less than 0.05. And then we have simultaneous test or test F. Based on the result of the test has include the all independent variable affect the dependent variable. It is explained in the table above. The calculated F value is greater than the F table of 3.779 more than 2.472 at the significant 0.007 is less than 0.05. This means that the independent variable, namely profitability, audit committee, auditor switching, and company size, can be explanatory variable for the dependent variable, namely the integrity of financial statement, or have an effect simultaneously. And last is discussion for hypothesis 1 is accepted. Does this result mean that there are an effect of the profitability on the integrity of financial statement? Hypothesis 2 reject, hypothesis 3 reject, and hypothesis 4 is accepted. Last, we have chapter 5, closing. Conclusion, profitability affect the integrity of financial statement. The audit committee has no effect on the integrity of financial statement. Auditor switching has no effect on the integrity of financial statement. And last, company size affect the integrity of financial statement. Implication for user profitability, in this case, high ROI, can increase the trust and positive reputation of the company in the eyes of stakeholders. This encourages issues to be more committed in presenting accurate and transparent financial report because quality financial reports can build investor trust and interest. In addition, a large company size can raise higher expectations from the public and stakeholder for the integrity of financial report. As a result, large companies tend to focus more on improving the quality and integrity of financial statements. Second is for government. The government plays an important role in overseeing and regulating corporate financial reporting. In addition, profitability and company size also affect tax obligation and other tax regulation. Companies that have a large size and high level of profitability usually receive more stringent attention from the authorities, so they must ensure better compliance with the applicable tax regulation. If the governments find evidence that the issuer violates the applicable regulation and accounting standards, they have the authority to impose sanction or penalties as a consequence of the violation. Next, third is for investor. Before investing, investors are very concerned about the company financial performance and profitability. Consistent and positive profitability can attract investor and drive demand for share, which in turn can increase company values. If investors find inaccuracies or manipulation in the financial statement, they may withdraw their investment from the company. This can lead to a decrease in the share price and reduce the company's market capitalization. And B, company size also affect investor decision. Large companies tend to be considered more stable and have lower risk than small companies. Thus, investor may have more confidence in the financial statement of large companies, but still expect accurate and transparent reports before they make an investment. And we have research limitation. The research was only conducted for 3 years, namely 2020 until 2022. The population and sample in this study only take the food and beverage subsector, which is listed on the IDS. The independent variables used in this study were only 4. It's also only produced to 12.1% the ability of the independent variable to affect the dependent variable and is still low. Recommendation for future research. Firstly, it is recommended for future research to increase the research period, such as more than 5 years. Recommended for future studies to add and expand the population and samples to be tested in order to obtain more accurate results. And last, it is suggested for further research to add other variables from various factors that affect the integrity of financial statement. Thank you. This is last for me. The effect of profitability audit committee, auditor switching, and company size on integrity of financial statement. I'm Nabila, and thank you.